Good morning, everybody. Bryant, what's going on? Trayvon, what's going on? UBBS, how you doing, fam? The first thing that popped up this morning for me was this shit right here. That's interesting to me. That's bullshit to me. Like we always finally y'all get notified. Like man, like that stuff drives me insane, bro. Like what's the point of telling people to download the app if people ain't seen the notifications, bro? You know. Um
Good morning.
hey, what's going on?
Hey, you got it, brother. What's happening with you?
I'm doing good, man. I just saw something on the TL that piqued my interest, and people were kind of making it seem like you know Charles Barkley was saying that, and this is where I have a hard time believing this stuff, right? A few months back, Charles Barkley said that Steph would not be dominant in this era. You know what I'm saying? Or in prior eras, I should say. And I don't agree with that because, if he's coming off screens or whatever and he's doing all of this stuff, um, I don't see how people can sit here and say he couldn't be dominant in any era, especially when I watched Reggie Miller terrorize people in the 90s doing the same type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, Ray Allen. You seen Ray Allen do it? Yeah, yeah.
But the difference between Steph and those dudes is that Steph, like, he's beating you off the dribble. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's beating you off of the dribble. He's boogieing off of the dribble, basically. And Loon Muse, what's going on, brother? Are you going to bed? That always trips me out. What time is it there, bro? 1 a.m. Oh my God. So when you tune in for games, like what time is it? Like live games. It's nuts, bro. 1 a.m. Oh, fucking these threads, bro. Oh, 12 p.m. Oh, okay. So it's like midday for you then. Oh, home games, like midday. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. That's not too bad. So if I ever come on that side of the damn world for like a vacation or something, it probably wouldn't have even affect me that much. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. Okay. So yeah, like anyways, back to what I was saying. So I used to watch Reggie Miller come off of these screens in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And he used to terrorize people. Like
Cook 'em.
bro, like hey, you remember like in the 90s with the Pacers, Jermaine, how Reggie used to come off of these screens
Oh
in
yeah.
the playoffs especially, and he used to murder people in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, the dude was a fucking nightmare, bro. And Reggie Miller, I don't think is a better off-ball player than Steph.
I don't think so
Yeah.
either.
Like Steph is like the best off-ball player ever, and I don't think it's really that close. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, Reggie Miller, like there was a stretch, right? Like his first couple of playoffs, right? So from 1990 to 1995, right? In the playoffs, he was. Let me share this with y'all for a second here. Okay. So in the 90s with Reggie, right? So this stretch right here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, you know what I'm saying? Like the first couple of years, not a great sample size, right? But when you start to get, let's do from his rookie, let's do 10 years of his prime, basically, right? So he was 23 points and 53% effective in the playoffs, right? Now let's do like his prime, basically. So let's do like, I don't know. Yeah, so he came in a little bit older. So let's just do this. 25 points on 56% effective. This looks pretty fucking familiar to me, right?
Right.
Because then I'm going to go to Steph Curry right here, right? And I'm going to do Steph Curry in the playoffs. 55, but Steph is doing 27. You see what I'm saying, bro?
Big difference.
Right? So they're shooting like the same type of percentage, right? Like, so here they're shooting the same type of percentage, but then on here, he's obviously scoring more. Steph is one of the best playoff scorers ever, right? I didn't realize that Steph is up to 27 points in his NBA career in the playoffs. I didn't realize that.
27 a game.
That's a lot of points, bro. So if we were to do, let's do LeBron, for instance, like for his career in the playoffs. Let me see where LeBron lands. LeBron is 28 and a half on a lower efficiency. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So Steph is 27 and LeBron is 28 and a half. But Steph is more efficient.
Right.
All right, let's do Kevin Durant. Where does KD land in the playoffs now? KD is 27 point. No, sorry. That's regular season. So KD is 29.4. So see how Steph is like right in that region?
Right.
However, he's actually more efficient than these guys, right? So
Right.
Steph is 27. So Steph is like 27 a game, but he's actually more efficient than those guys. That that to me is big time.
Oh yeah.
That to me is major, 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 bro.
Yeah. Efficiency.
Right? So you look at all of those things, bro. It's stay cozy. Good morning, brother. AD. I know, bro. Yes, so we look at those things, man, and it's like when people try to slight this dude, you know, I don't get why, bro, because that era thing means jack shit because Reggie Miller was doing it. You're telling me that skinny ass Reggie Miller could do it, but Steph Curry couldn't?
Right.
This
And
era to
and
era
and and
credit
had
for.
the handles on top of that.
Yeah, like none of those off-ball creators had that type of handle or could shoot off the dribble like that.
Right.
Let me tell you something, man. You land Steph in the '90s, and you get him with a coach that has some has some common sense. He's destroying defenses in the '90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's destroying defenses. Like I don't think what they say would actually hurt Steph in the grand scheme of things. I
Nah,
really
because
don't think so.
it's all hypothetical. They can. That's just something for them to talk about. It don't matter what they think he could have did back then. He doing it fucking now. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah,
It's good talk. It's good talk for us because we can go back and forth and break it down and look at, give examples like a Reggie Miller, give examples like a Ray Allen. You know, I don't see Steph could play in any era. That's his game could travel to any era to me. So
Yeah, that's the thing with it, man. I mean, like when they try to tell you all about all this stuff, man, like you know,
bullshit. You know, man, them guys be jealous. Barkley a big jealous motherfucker, man, because he ain't getting no ring. They tease him all the time about it.
yeah.
Yeah, Kenny Smith now. I was fucking with him.
uh, Mets fan, what's going on, brother? Mets fan was saying something to me yesterday, and I forgot. I forgot exactly what it was. My bad. I You said something about being tapped in with us a while ago, and I don't remember. I was going to address it yesterday, but I got sidetracked. It's going to be interesting, I think. The Mets fans. So, what did Andre say right here on defense? He says,
I'm still here.
Andre, like, bro.
Huh?
Oh,
What's up?
hey, how many of y'all watched that clip?
What clip
So
you
hold
talking
on.
about?
Let me ask y'all this question. Did you watch that Jordan Poole clip with what Andre was saying about him?
Uh-uh. Nah, I ain't
This
check
man
it out.
damn near said that that Poole was falling on purpose.
Damn.
I would tell Jordan, you're trying not to try. Do you know how much energy it take to not to try? It takes less. Come on, bro. Like that's why when we say shit, bro, we're not wrong. I know what the fuck I'm watching, bro. Like you don't gotta be fucking sliding that much, dog. He's joking, but he's not joking. You're right, Dennis. He's joking, but he's not joking.
Right.
That was the most frustrating thing for me to watch all year long, bro. Like what that man was doing. He was just sliding all over the damn place, bro. Like that shit was disgusting to watch.
Man, you called that shit
Bro,
when you
like
said he was a baby giraffe.
fam, I don't know how somebody can get punched, right? I don't know how somebody can get punched. And then, like you somehow lose the crowd. You know what I'm saying? You know how hard that is?
Right. Yep.
Bro.
Takes
You
a
know how
lot.
hard that is like to lose a crowd like that, bro? Like, that shit is wild. Like that shit is wild to me.
That's crazy.
You get punched and you just lose the crowd, like because you're doing like other bullshit, man. Like I love Andre, bro. Andre always speaks the truth, man. Always, always, always. Uh, um, yeah. So Ali posted about something that this opposing player said about being in Turkey, right? Turkey's a lovely country, but let me tell you this, bro. When I used to watch Champions League back in the day, and teams would go to Turkey, bro, or they would go and play Galatasaray, bro. It was the most toxic environment. It was probably the most scariest place to play in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So watching him saying that, that's not, bro. Like it is a really intimidating place to play, bro. Like they would be doing all types of shit. Like I used to hear people say how you would be afraid that you would get shot if you were in the stadium. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's the type of conditions that they were playing with, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, that's more like on the border of Turkey and Syria, basically, where they got the beef going on. But yeah, same shit. Those fans are crazy, man. I mean, they're insane, bro. Like, oh my God. Yo, Ali, we're probably going to try to start to do, and I'd love for y'all to tap into this, bro, because we're trying to like build out the network or whatever. And I would love for some of y'all to tap in because I'm going to start to do football spaces now. You know what I'm saying? I have to get it up and running and organized and and have more people tap in. Kind of like what we had in the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? So we'll figure it out eventually. Man, I'm telling you, bro. Like Turkey's a scary, scary place. Soccer. Stop it, pool waves. You know, brother. You know I'm better than that, bro. You're Somali. Soccer. Pool waves. You know better, bro. You're Somali. Stop it. uh, yeah, man. Stephen A. be fighting with these dudes too much, bro. Yeah,
They
I
doing some shit.
yeah I do cringe when people say soccer. Like, bro, I grew up outside the country for most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've been saying football all my life. So, I don't know from soccer. We got to say soccer for the Americans, I guess. It's not soccer, bro. Where the hell did soccer come from? Americans are the only ones that say soccer in the world. Nobody else says that shit. Nobody else. Yeah, man. Why Stephen A. always fighting with these dudes, bro? Like, what's going on there? He's
Man,
fighting with Yo. He's fighting with Dwight Howard. Uh, like years ago, bro. He must have said some shit like Dwight. Kwame baked him though. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely deep fried him.
yeah.
A few years ago, Socrates. Wow. A few years ago, this was like right around, KD's free agency or whatever. He said that Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant were planning to go and play in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So KD must have responded on Twitter, and KD must have said like, "Yo, you know, we ain't about to." He said some shit like, "We're not, we're not about to," or he said, Where did KD or where did Stephen A. learn that?" Pretty much calling him a liar, bro. Stephen A. went on TV and damn near threatened. When I say threaten KD. You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
was saying shit like, "You don't want to make an enemy out of me," blah blah blah. Bro, the shit was wild. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this dude is fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Crazy.
bro, like he had to have gotten in trouble for that, bro, because it was so flagrant. You know what I'm
I'm,
saying? Like
I'm
his
gonna
ego.
tell you something though. He done did
I
a
was like,
lot of
what the hell is
reckless
this dude
shit,
doing,
bro.
man?
And he always just get a couple of days off. I remember that shit with the Ray Rice when Ray Rice slapped the shit out of his girl.
Bro,
And
the shit was actually
it's
crazy. So I was like, is is this dude normal? Like, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? So I saw that shit, bro. I was like, yeah, this dude is not normal, man. Yeah, this is what it was, Dennis. Yup. This is what it was. Oh, this man was like, you don't want to make an enemy out of me.
fucking Stephen A.
Let me find the clip, bro. It's on YouTube. Hold up. This shit was wild, bro. Like, this shit was crazy. Hold up.
His
Here it
people
is.
want him because this brother's going to do big things, and they're going to see to it that he's going to do big things. Are you trying to tell me these large markets are not a consideration? I said nothing offensive about him. I will not say anything offensive about him. I still stand here today telling you he's a good dude,
Uh,
but he's wrong. And the guys that put him up to it in their own way. I'm not talking about literally his comments, but in their own way with their chirping behind my back all the time. They're wrong too. And the sensitivity that these guys are showing, they are making unnecessary enemies. I am not one of them. I won't be. I got too much love and respect for who these guys are and what they mean to my community. Okay. But I will say this lastly. You don't want to make an enemy out of me. And I'm going to say it again. You do not want to make an enemy out of me. I'm not having it. I've done nothing wrong, and I'm not going to tolerate it.
Let me stop you there.
bro.
Stephen
Yo,
A. Stephen A. the
hey,
killer.
yo, fam. That's when I knew the man was powerful, bro. Like, next thing like you look at his contract, dog, and this man is making, like he's making fucking $10 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yo, I saw that shit, bro. I was like, this is what, yeah, bro. That's what he makes. You know what I'm saying? That's what he
Yeah.
makes. Matter of fact, a lot of these guys, a lot of these guys who are on TV, like these talk show hosts, like the Sean Hannitys, Howard Stearns, or what? Not even Howard Stern. Howard Stern is like another category, right? But like the
Mhm.
Today Show people, Stray Hands, and all of that. Yo, like that's probably around what they make. You know what I'm saying? Like in a $10 million range. You know what I'm saying? So, these are some powerful people, man.
Oh yeah.
Really, really powerful people. Yeah,
He
bro.
was he was threatening him on TV.
Bro, like these dudes, these dudes aren't lightweights. You know what I'm saying? Like they make great, great money. You know what I'm saying? So, bro. All right, look
That's
at Barkley, for instance. Like, how much money do you think Barkley makes?
Barkley in like 15. He making about 15, huh? Something like that.
Bro, like, I think Barkley is in that range, bro. I think he signed like an $80 million contract the other day. Bro, I'm trying to get you up. I see you requesting up, but I can't get you up for some reason. Yeah, man. That shit is funny, bro.
Pull me up, Crody. Pull me out, bro.
Shit.
So what I missed yesterday, because man, I didn't catch. I was tied up, bro, all day yesterday. I ain't
So
catch the
yeah,
fucking
yesterday we were talking.
spaces. I can go back and listen to that, but just give me a roundabout what y'all was talking about.
We were talking. So yesterday we were talking about the
I seen you had
Giannis.
the Giannis shit as your
Yes. So we
subtopic.
were talking about the Giannis stuff, and you know, like people try to kill the credibility of the channel all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know shit, and
Right,
bro, it just bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Shadow comes in here, and I know Shadow, like Shadow are friends with. So the damn thing comes out about Giannis yesterday, and then where they're talking about that, and y'all hear me?
Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
okay. Yeah. So we're talking about. Y'all can't hear anything. Hella, are you good? Okay. All right. So yeah, bro, it just like flashed in and out right now. So anyways, yo, playback, y'all need to fix this stuff, man. I'm on a roll right now, bro. Like
Yeah, get this shit working.
I'm on a roll right now, brother. Like y'all can't be, and I don't have any video or anything up here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All
Shouldn't be
right, let
glitching.
me
Yeah,
go
I
back
can
in
hear you
and
though.
come back out. Or
Yeah, just do that. But I can hear you. I don't know why they can't. But
that's crazy. Like, all right, all right, here we go. How about
yeah,
now? Can you hear me and see me?
yeah, you
Okay. All
good.
right. So, anyways, we were talking about the Giannis thing yesterday, and Shadow, like done told us. Remember how he told us like a few months back, like don't say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And he comes out with the information, and now everybody and their mom. Yeah, Tim Park, we're gonna post this on YouTube. So like everybody and their mom, bro, was like, was saying about how we don't know shit, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
yesterday I seen ESPN like lead a whole segment with it, talking about how like this guy and that guy and how Giannis might leave. And I was just watching that segment and I was just laughing, bro, because
Laughing. Yep.
here's what people need to realize, right? Like, you know what like guerrilla warfare is, bro?
Oh, no doubt.
All
Yes.
right, so like the Americans got their ass kicked in Vietnam, right?
Right.
And it was largely because of guerrilla warfare. Like they pretty much went to a place where they weren't familiar with the grounds and all of that stuff, and they were getting their ass beat in the jungle
Beat.
off of
Yep.
guerrilla warfare, right?
Yep.
So consider this guerrilla warfare because you know dudes are in the clubs, have relationships with these guys trust these guys or whatever, right? And then they come on, and they get like their podcasts or whatever. These players get their podcasts, and it's almost like straight from the source, basically, right? So instead of you hearing it from somebody to somebody or a reporter has a following or whatever, and he has a podcast or he's on ESPN or whatever, right? Now these
Right.
guys have like the relationship where, they have these podcasts or whatever, and they're in the club. So just consider us like in the club, you know what I'm saying? And we're in the club and we're hearing shit from dudes. And dudes are saying this and they're saying that, right? And there's certain information that we're getting this, that, and the other, right? And when we get that information, we're telling y'all, right? Instead of guy tells reporter because he wants to leverage something from that reporter, reporter comes, reports, and that's how the news gets reported. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's two different relationships there. There's a relationship where guy's a friend with a guy, and then there's a relationship where a guy is, you know, like he's trying to get news out. He's trying to, you know, he's trying to angle it a certain way, right? So this morning, I was on Twitter and I saw Trista Crick or Trista, yeah, girl, 9 and 1 you will not be, that girl, right? So she was, she saw a tweet from somebody, like I think it was like a Miami Herald reporter or something, and she was talking about that, you know, and she was saying about how, you know, these reporters are something else because they have these relationships with these guys and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then somebody replied to it and they're like, oh, the guy is trusted, blah, 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 journalist, yada, yada, yada. Let me tell y'all this, bro. Journalistic integrity is out the fucking door now. Because now these journalists are dealing with an asshole like me on fucking playback, right? That, you know, like, and Shadow that has some information and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So these journalists, bro, like they're literally engaging in guerrilla warfare now, bro. Like now a lot of this stuff is, you know, like man's told a man's this, that, and the other. Man comes on Twitter and say shit. And then the gullible fan is going to say, well, I didn't hear it from a blue check mark. What credentials do you know? No fucking things as credentials anymore, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? The way that information, bro, like you used to be able to control information because the leverage the reporter had was that he had a big platform, right? Right. Everyone has a fucking platform now, bro. So now the thing is that what do you have now? The quality of the information, right? And the speed at which you develop and the speed at which you deliver that information. That is kind of what we're battling now, bro. That's literally what we're battling. So when I hear people say this and say, do y'all know what y'all are talking about, bro? Like, you know, now these front office guys just use the media like swords, basically, right? But here's the thing with the media. Then the media gets mad now because you got assholes like me over here giving opinions. You know what I'm saying? And we're giving angles. And then it makes it worse that we got fucking connections too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Miracle.
People off now. You know what I'm saying? So it burns them. It literally burns them when they do that shit, bro. Like, so, you know, that's what gets under people's skin, man. Like,
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I just wanted to ask, do you guys think that these journalists they start listening to playback or in spaces because they want to get also the gems that you guys give us?
Say that again. You're cracking up for me.
Oh wait, let me remove my headphones. Hold up.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh my God, that's much better. Yeah, yeah.
All right. So my question was, do you guys think these journalists, like, who's the guy that Draymond was getting mad about?
Jason
forgot his name. Yeah. Do you think these journalists they hop in spaces or in playback and then they try to get the gems from Shadow, from you, and they somehow just wait for the news to go down and that's when they will report it?
Shadow, perfect fucking timing, bro. Absolute perfect timing. So,
what's up?
You heard this question? I'm right now, Shadow.
No, I never heard it.
So he said, pretty much, he said, do you think a lot of these reporters will hop into spaces, hop into playback, get some information because they know that you have the information, and then go and report it?
Yeah, 90%.
Okay.
Shit.
To answer your question, it happens all the time, actually.
Yep.
Yeah,
So they're just like
90
scavengers.
percent. I'll give you a perfect example. Nate was arguing with me, but first he was in my DMs, and then he went on the timeline. So when I got the app, I was just busy in a Zoom, so I answered. So he's like, "Oh, it's irresponsible. When's he coming back?" And whatever. I said, "Wiggins it's a family situation." But before that, every single report was personal. Then when I said family, um,
It became family.
Dalton, well, what's his name? Dalton, something Dalton. I was under his post. If you look at it, if you type in at whatever Nate Mosby at SB Tayu and put in family, you'll see it right in the thread. And then literally a half an hour after that, he said Wiggins is a family thing. Then Shams says family. Then Woj said family. And everybody was only saying personal because they didn't know. Because the Warriors said it's for personal reasons. And then I specifically said family, but I was thinking I was in my DMs. So that's just one example. And then there's other examples where I'm not even going to say the reporter, but the reporter jumped to my DMs and asked me when Wiggins is coming back, right?
Oh shit.
And he asked me when Wiggins is coming back, but it was like an account that was made the same day. So I looked at it, and then I went, "Huh?" And he says, aren't you close to Wiggins or whatever?" And used a specific word. I forgot what the word was. I get too many DMs to even look at it, but it was a specific word. It's like imagine someone saying, "Oh," instead of saying what's going on with Wiggins, say for example, he said, "What's the profility with Wiggins?" Then the guy came back. I got another DM like in half an hour later after I answered the question. I said, "He's just dealing with some family matters, whatever." But by that time, I already saw that everybody put family, so I said family again, right? So he hits back and he goes, "No, the account that was made the same day was supposed to hit back, but a reporter hit back and used the exact same verbiage." So I matched it and I said, "This guy used the same word, this guy." So it was a reporter that forgot to click his ghost account and said my account. And then I said, "What?" And then he just looked at it and then disappeared.
Damn. Damn.
That's funny.
Yeah, but there's multiple, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest. I'm gonna, like, how fitting. I'm gonna be honest. Um, it's like this is what they do. Like, you know what I'm saying? They get to people who are close to the situation, especially in spaces, because spaces in the 2021-22 season became such a big, huge thing that all the players and the equipment guys and the executives and Seidel Curry and Dre and all these people were just jumping in our spaces. So the reporters knew that, so they would come in and get information. It's simple. What are you guys
Happens.
thinking? What are you guys thinking about the 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 Giannis news? Surprising?
No, not surprising at all.
Nope, because you told us before.
We've been knowing about it, Shadow, thanks to you.
Okay, but but Jermaine, man. But I thought I had no sauces, man.
Shit, man, you got all the sauces, brother.
Come on, man. I thought I had no sauces. Why is it not never no random stuff? It's always the exact right on. It's always word for word, bar for bar. Like, why?
Early and often.
Shadow, I got a question.
Yep.
Is the Warriors planning on adding any coach to the team?
They lost Jama. They were supposed to promote him, but I'm not promote him. They were supposed to replace him, but they ended up promoting Weems. Atkinson was in line.
Isn't
to
he
be
number 2
interviewed
now?
for the Toronto job, but he turned it down. But there's like 2 coaches that are supposed to get fired by mid-season, like that are basically on the hot seat. So he might be like 2 coaches might be gone out of the training staff. So they're gonna.
I think we should
Out of the
sign
coaching
a
staff, so they're gonna move.
defensive-minded coach, though.
Yeah, I know, but we've had Ron Adams for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And Ron
Oh
Adams
yeah,
and
yeah, that's
Mike
true.
Brown worked hand in hand. They came up with because people say like our defense. It's not really defense. It's like defense that's surrounded around Draymond Green, and a lot of people don't know this. You could ask Charlie to ask Draymond because I know this personally because he speaks about it with the players. Like the Warriors' defense is built around Draymond, just like the Warriors' offense is built around Steph. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
that's
there's no
true.
real defensive scheme. It's based off of what Draymond does. They had one, but Draymond blows it up by doing whatever. So now they made a variation of the defensive schemes based off of what and the coverage and the things. What Draymond does, that's why when Draymond don't play, it falls off a cliff because it's centered around Draymond. If Draymond
Around
ain't there
Draymond.
and JTA's replacing it, it's gonna fall off a cliff.
Right.
A lot of people didn't know that, but gave you a little nugget.
yeah. There
You
is
can
some.
ask
Thanks for that,
Charlie
Shadow.
can ask Draymond. He's gonna tell you word for
Appreciate
word,
you.
bar for bar.
That's There's a channel on YouTube. It's called Thinking Basketball, and last season they did a really good job of breaking down like what the Warriors were doing defensively and all of that.
Yep.
I could find it and play it, but yeah, they were talking about all of this stuff, man, and it was good stuff. I mean, you know,
I
they're pretty much
enjoy watching
like what the
the
Warriors were.
breakdowns. It really helps us, or at least me, improve my basketball IQ because
Yeah,
if you see it in real time, it's fast paced, so you can't really appreciate the strategies, the schemes. But when someone breaks it down, you can start to see the pictures. Like when Steph and Dre says the pictures, and it slows down for them. You
yeah.
s- you start to look at it from their point of view, and you'll be like, oh yeah, it makes sense why they did this, why they did that.
I should find that video and play it right now, but it's like a 9-minute video.
Hold on. I missed this. I was going through the chat. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. I repeat, stop the presses. What did Charlie tweet? That's in the chat.
Iggy has made his decision to retire or keep playing on video. It's dropping really soon. That's what it says.
Urkel, I'm
Uh,
gonna be
Playing on
honest.
video.
I'm gonna be honest. Talk for me, because this is getting crazy now, man. No,
Shadow,
speak for me. Speak on behalf of me, man.
Shadow,
I'm
you
just asking you to
literally
rep me
said
today.
that. Literally said that 2 weeks ago. Just saying, like
Come on, bro.
you
Come
literally
on,
said that on.
dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he said he's gonna announce it on video.
Come
Yep.
on, dog. Come on, dog.
Can't make this shit up, brother.
It's getting to the point where it's not even shocking anymore.
Yeah, it's not shocking. Come
Yeah.
on.
But anyways, fuck all that. The Warriors are winning the chip. We're looking good. Dwight Howard's looking good. By the way, another one in my Khaled voice.
DJ Khaled.
We're looking good, man. We're looking real good. Steph is coming back a better player. Wiggins coming back a better player. Klay Thompson looks focused. Like CP is CP. CP, how many workouts has he been doing? You know what I mean? Him, Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard and Draymond working out. CP's working with Kuminga. CP was working out with Steph. Like, come on, man. How much? The guy's focused. The guy is focused, man. The man is focused.
That's what we need. Locked and loaded.
Like, I'm going to be honest, I feel better about this season than I do 2021, 2022. And I was screaming chip. Ask Urkel. I
Yeah.
was screaming chip. And I feel better about this team. This team is a better team than the team with Otto and Belly and all those. This team is a better team. This team with 24 games to 1. The team that won the chip.
Here's what I was talking about yesterday with the how they started off the season. So this is December 11th, right? Look at where the offensive rating was, bro. They were wrecking the league, dog.
And they've done it with an
It's
incredibly
not a coincidence that they won the title that year.
maximizes their personnel.
So this is what we need to get back to. Like, we need to get back to this defensive identity. they get back to the defensive identity, it's a wrap. It's literally a wrap.
Urkel, Draymond's goal is Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, that's
Like,
exactly what I want to hear.
let's understand. I could be honest. Most of us were saying Draymond didn't play good defense last season. Now he's saying Defensive Player of the Year. What do you think is going to happen?
Bro, I love when Draymond has that approach, bro. Like, if Draymond is saying that he wants to be depoy, I mean, this right here, he was in depoy mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the shit that he was doing right here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's a pick and roll, so Draymond drops
Look at the
back,
shit that he was doing here.
recognizes that the on-ball defender is picked off.
He's just breaking up ball screens, bro. Like, terrorizing people. Look at that.
Most
Block
players
shot.
in the world can't guard 4 or 5 positions that well, fly around the perimeter, or succeed
From the
in
weak
every
side to
kind
the
of
strong
pick and roll
side. Like,
coverage.
bro.
And yet, Green's most important skill is probably protecting the paint.
The awareness of Draymond is crazy. Just like
Yeah, bro. It's actually uncanny what he does, man.
Draymond's ability to sniff out threats and then materialize in the lane with a kind of basketball spray.
You know what I'm saying?
sense.
Like,
Here's a
what he
quintessential
does here
Green
is
play.
nuts, man.
Over here minding his business, but he's ready to
I think this is the
bounce
first
the
Phoenix
ball
game.
into the
I
free,
believe I'd
instantly recovers to the ball,
I gone to this
and
game.
nearly blocks the 7-foot DeAndre
So
Ayton
right there, he's
with
guarding
the
too.
perfect
Nobody
vertical
does that
pass.
shit better than him, bro.
At 6'6",
Timing is
Green's
impeccable.
awareness
he can
and
cover so
defensive
many
IQ
people at once.
make up for
Bro,
his lack of
it's
size.
bro. He's like
Playing
Spider-Man,
center here
dog.
and sniff
Like,
out the ball, but the moment he sees that Andrew
comes
Wiggins
over
doesn't
here,
need help,
right?
he looks elsewhere. And because Draymond recognizes a dangerous Seth Curry, he steps up hard.
and look at the guys that are on the court with him
Three.
defensively. You know what I'm saying?
So he can play the perimeter.
They have
protect
two weak
the paint,
defenders
stick
there.
Point guards, centers, or big wings like Kevin Durant. And he's basically a coach on the floor. The ultimate weapon.
You just
for
need to
a
get his body
forward
right, man.
defense
That's it.
that Steve Kerr and his staff have created.
And I think he's good.
Before we get to what's so progressive about this Warriors defense, we need to start with their fundamentals. First, their communication is phenomenal. Curry calls for a switch early.
You see
here,
how he's here
then
talking
goes
about
behind
communication
Fred
from
VanVleet
last
and
year.
calls for another one. So
That's
Bill
what
can
wasn't
step out
there
high
this
if
past
needed.
season, bro.
And
The
then
communication.
Andrew Wiggins is early with his communication to Poole, and he uses
Yo,
Yeah,
shout
we
out.
need Draymond to yell.
shot against the
Yeah,
ball.
and see,
Yes, sir.
They're constantly
see, remember when you were saying that Draymond didn't have a voice in the team last season?
Yeah, he had no voice. He didn't even want to speak up because he saw the cold shoulder people were giving him, like one-word
Yeah.
answers and things like that. And
And
that's the
everything-
entire team, too.
Bro, and everything right here is communication. You know what I'm saying? Everything right here that they're doing is communication.
Sprinting back here off a make because DeAndre Ayton
Shadow, even the vets
play.
gave him the
You
cold
see
shoulder.
Steph calling for someone
Yeah,
to finish the
1,000%. They
ball.
weren't speaking
This
into him
time
the same.
Draymond's the one
Oh,
doing the
Steph
crowd.
Steph was
When
play.
there's a breakdown
Steph
on the
was
ball,
they started speaking to him
immediately
after,
sends
but
Looney to the front of
it
the
was
rim.
like a weird
And watch
feeling. You know when
Wiggins
you go somewhere and you're
veers
not really
off
wanted
VanVleet
and you feel like a
because
third
Looney
wheel. That's
has it
how Draymond
covered.
was feeling throughout the
Then
season,
Toronto
right?
has to reset
So
into a
when I'm
pick and
speaking on
roll,
this, I'm talking
and
like
it's
November,
Curry
December.
pointing to the
By the
opposite
time it got to the
side.
All-Star,
Looney,
people
and
started
then Kevon blocks
breaking
Gary
and
Trent
buying
about
in.
5
Even Poole was
times
buying a
during the
little
play.
bit, but then they
Been trapped a
continued
pick
to
and roll
have
here.
little
So these three
altercation.
players are
And I
zoning
forget
up
which
against the
month.
other 4 Bulls.
Draymond
Poole
basically
committed
dropped
to
a
the ball.
documentary. It was in
Curry
November or
splits the
something,
difference,
basically,
closes
about
out
the
to the
punch.
pass, which
Like,
triggers
and that's
Poole
when
to
these guys
rotate
were
to
like,
the
dog,
corner.
like, with
And
all
this
due
is all
respect, man.
textbook.
Oh yeah, it was on
After
opening night.
everyone recovers,
Yeah.
it's another pick and roll.
Yeah, what
Man
he did
dropped
in the
it. Man
opening
dropped
night
it.
with
Early
LeBron,
to
I don't think that
rotate,
really helped
and the second that pass arrives,
at all. Like,
Wiggins
you know,
hightails
with
it
his
from the top
relationship
to
with
cover for
with his
Draymond,
teammates.
and then he
Yeah, when he
leaves
dapped him up in
because
the middle of the
Looney is
game.
there and closes out to a 20.
Yeah, people weren't rocking with that. Especially not after the punch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you can see how perfect an
You know what's
offense
crazy?
has
If I was
to be
Draymond,
to
like,
create easy
I wouldn't
shots
do
against
anything
this level
to
of
ruin
teamwork
the,
and
you
multiple
know, the
efforts
vibes even
from
more because
multiple
he
players.
knows he fucked
It's
up
also
and
the second
Yeah.
possession
you're
we've
gonna
seen
do that
Wiggins
shit. Come on.
trust his teammate to cover so he could rotate elsewhere. We saw Draymond trust Wiggins earlier, and trust is the other core fundamental.
yeah,
here.
trust wasn't there
On
last
this
season,
play,
bro.
you'll see
Like,
Landry Shamet
it-
get a
like,
half step.
just
up on the
rewatching
corner,
this video
but
because I've seen this
everyone
video a few
trusts that
times,
Porter has it
and
covered, so no one helps
and he talks about
unnecessarily.
trust and
That means
communication
the
and all of that
offense
stuff.
never creates an
And let me
advantage.
tell you,
We
bro,
expect
that shit
to
was
fall back on a
missing
late
all
block
year
pick
long.
and
You know what I'm
roll.
saying? Like,
Wiggins calls out
it really
early
was just
and
lacking all year
repeatedly,
long.
which helps Gary Payton II. And you know the drill by now.
I also noticed last season they
Overhelping
tended
is
to
basically
overhelp
rotating when
in
it's
the
not
defense.
needed.
Yeah.
The ball is already contained here, and a late double team just bails out the offense. And the
So this
Warriors
clip
are
right here, he's going to talk
incredibly
about
disciplined
overhelping.
about not overhelping, especially
Yeah,
given
see?
how much they rotate. Draymond has to read whether Andre Iguodala needs help, and he's nearly perfect at gauging these decisions and derails Durant's drive. That leads to a Golden State runout. And what happens next epitomizes this defense and Green. Coming back down the floor, Draymond has the ball covered.
And watch what Jordan Poole does right here.
Poole overhelps.
Yeah,
committing
and
an
fouls him.
unnecessary
He doesn't need to
foul
do
from
that.
behind, and Green is livid.
Bro.
And turn it into offense at the other end of the floor.
This is a 21-point game, but trust is critical for this defense to work. Draymond's particular.
You see why we struggled so much last year, bro?
His own evolution as a defender.
Yep.
I was a great off-ball defender.
This is a perfect example of what I always talk about, bro.
In most situations, I
Like, so when Shadow and I were on, we're on the
Watch GP
spaces or whatever, and we're telling you, like, nah, bro, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Like we know how capable these dudes are, bro.
Need to help in that situation. All of these fundamentals, communication, effort, and trust, make it possible.
And then I'm looking at the competition. It's not even like I thought the team was better. The team was actually worse. But I'm looking at the competition.
Porter splits the difference on the weak side.
Hey, Shadow.
Curry's strong contest.
Yo.
Watch that. You were the one that posted that. Bro. Wasn't that what we were saying all year long, bro?
Bro, look at this. You guys read this what I put in the chat. I know you just mentioned it, Urkel, but I'm just trying to tell people, like, these are the things we were saying all year, and people thought we were hating.
That's what we were saying all year long, bro. Like the shit, and so by the time we got to like March, right?
And he knows Wall loves lobs, and he
Shadow was coming into the spaces, and he was like, "Yo,
like Trae Young,
I think these guys are gone." Like I think Jordan, not think. You weren't saying think. You were like Jordan Poole is gone, definitively. Like
they only switch in certain situations.
You're like he's up out of there, and we were like, "Yo, this is like during the season, during the playoffs." You're like, "Yeah, Jordan is gone. He's as good as gone."
A few times now, they also pre-switch, and that just neutralizes screens like
I've
this.
not paid him that
and
much
leaves
money.
Draymond behind the play where he's at his best. And sure enough, he tags Gary Trent coming across the lane.
Look at Wiggins, bro.
Chases him
Jesus
into
Christ.
Curry's zone.
Well, where are you
for
going?
Another switch. And then instead of worrying about Steph's man, he makes a beeline for the basket. And that is the stuff of legend, ladies and gentlemen. It can look like Draymond is roaming around, just playing center field out there. His man is way up here, and after a while, it's like
this is why when it comes to things, man, I just say things in playback, man. I'm over spaces because I gave people all these gems and they didn't listen. At least y'all, I appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah.
Today's even a rough day for me, guys, and I just came on just to show appreciation. Pure people were in my DMs tagging saying come in. I wasn't even feeling it. I'm in the gym just trying to let off some steam. Today's my son's birthday, and it's his heavenly birthday, and he ain't here. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I just do this for you guys, man. I just try to give you guys the gems, try to keep your spirits up, even times when I'm down. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I appreciate you guys, man. Straight up.
God bless you, man.
Appreciate it.
Basically a step ahead of the offense. Poole is switched onto
Yo, Manu.
Here. JTA
Hop up for a second, Manu.
Pre-switch to avoid a mismatch, and Toscano Anderson creeps over to the
We got to start putting some of ththese numbers together with CP and stuff to try to, like, I think we should try to approximate what their offensive rating is going to be. Because I'm pretty sure CP3 has been bumping up teams' offensive rating crazy. I don't care if Steph's on it, like, CP's still going to be a raiser. Like, Steph hasn't had an opportunity to have a player raise his level of play. He's never played with a point guard, like, in his entire career. Like, you know what I mean? Jared Jack, Monte Ellis, these guys ain't point guards. You know what I'm saying? So at the end, Sean Livingston, 6'7". I get it that he was bringing up the ball and he had the ability to do it, but he wasn't a point guard. Either is Draymond Green. Draymond Green is not a point guard. Stephen Curry has never played with a point guard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you guys are trying to count Chioza with his 2 assists. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Curry.
So this
Looks
is
like coach
this is
effort
going to be
himself.
like real good
So
basketball
they
we're seeing. Like,
overload and zone
you know what I
up
mean?
Joel
I don't know what
throughout.
our
And
offensive
since
rating
this
was in
looks like a zone at times,
in
it
21,
makes sense that the
22.
Warriors
What was it,
actually
like
do
114,
zone
113,
It's
when they
like
114?
can.
115, something like that.
Only these aren't
Yeah,
basic notes
I'm
from your local
thinking
high school. They
we
leverage
might hit
many of the
116,
same principles
116,
we've
116 and a half,
discussed
to
so
be honest with
far.
If it
Because
gets to like
filling up
115,
spaces and
116,
helping
and
teammates
they
by
hold the
reading
defense to
action
about, say,
applies in both
110,
man
111,
and zone. GP2 is dangerous in
I think they're
passing
probably
lanes,
going to win like
and
60
Steve
games.
Kerr sticks him at the top of their 1-2-2
yeah, like
zone.
Chris
And
Paul
you'll
makes a
notice he
huge difference.
slides
We
down
got to
to the
see
free
like
throw
when
line
he
here
came to
choke off
OKC, how
this
much their
high post
offensive rating
pass.
went up. When he
And
came to
Yeah.
Phoenix, how
taking
much
away
their
this
offensive
pass
rating.
was one
Like
of the
Manu could
guiding
more put those
principles
numbers
of
together, but
Luke
just from a
Olson's 1-1-3
overall
matchup zone at
standpoint, like
Arizona,
I'm seeing the
where Kerr
defensive
played
rating
in
go up
college.
like
Steve
significantly because
sliding under
he
to
brings a
guide the
different
pass
dimension
to
that
the
the Warriors have never
original
had.
Gary
That
Payton.
this
And
playmaking
that
ability
zone
is
had a
next
ton
level.
of
Like Warriors have
rules
never
for
had this. Not
changing
in
positions
2016,
and
not
tracking
in none
the
of the
action
years.
around
17,
the court.
18,
And
19,
so you'll see
21,
players like
22. Like
Payton
they never had
II
this. So it's going to be a
rotate
good
or change
dynamic.
positions in the zone, and he ends up
Shadow,
eliminating
is
John Ayton
Dwight
on this
Howard a
one,
done deal
who's
already?
just a bit too big for him.
Yeah,
We could spend an
pretty much.
entire
But keep in
video
mind when
on the intricacies
teams
of a
sign guys
great
this
zone,
like at this
but
time,
most teams are
this
running
means a training
vanilla
camp deal. Like
versions
you're signed
where
to a training
players
camp deal.
maintain
So
a
Dwight
2-3
is still gonna have to
formation
do the
and stick
physical
to designated
basketball part. Like he
areas.
did
But
the,
the
you know, what I
Warriors
mean
zone
the interview part,
bends
and
and
he aced that
flows with the
because Dwight
action,
Howard was saying
and
some of these
players
things in
still read
21,
and
22.
react.
Like you
Poole
understand
is
what I'm saying?
closest
Like
to this skip
Steve
Yeah,
pattern,
yeah,
knew,
yeah.
so
but at
Draymond
the end of the day,
instantly
he like,
rotates to
are you
his
bought
spot,
into like
a
just
basic
being a
man-to-man
mentor?
principle,
Like it,
and
and
they
and I
reset
tell
in that
people this.
position,
There's
and it's another tough
like
shot.
Iggy
Of
didn't
course,
play
it
for 3
helps to have a
seasons,
mind like
but the
Draymond out
value that
there
he
who
brought
tells
to
Looney
Andrew
to get
Wiggins
out
is
over
like
this corner
you can't
screen
even
here,
pay. You
and
can't even
then
pay for that in a
feigns
player.
toward
Like
the ball, but he's baiting
what
the
he did with
pass, and
Wiggins and
that
helping
kills
him
any
break down
advantage for the
film, because
Kings,
Draymond
and it leads to
and
another
Iggy really
forced
helped
turnover. It doesn't
Wiggins, because
stop with
Wiggins,
the
like even
zone,
from
though.
the play-in
He'll go
time,
box and
Wiggins
one
came up to
with
him like,
one
"Yo,
defender
Iggy, do me a
dedicated to
favor, man.
guarding
Like,
Chris Paul,
how would
and
you
the
guard
other
LeBron if
four
you're
zone
out
up.
there?" And at
There's
that
the
time, Kerr
box,
wasn't even
and yet
trusting
again,
Wiggins to say,
Curry
"Go guard
slides over
LeBron."
with the
Wiggins
action
told
and
Kerr, "I'm
forces
gonna
a
guard
turnover.
LeBron," and then did
None
research,
of this is
and then watched
defensive
film,
either.
and then did all
They have Payton
the
hound
necessary
opposing range,
elements in
and
order
it
to
is
become a great defender.
dangerous
And
dribbling
Iggy
around
was
him
a
at times.
huge part
And
of that
Golden
development.
State usually
Same way
goes
Dwight
off
Howard
and
could be a
one
huge part of
with only
TJD.
one or two
Yeah.
viable
TJD's
shooters
development,
out there
because
to
he's going to
guard.
rim run, he's going to
A
rebound,
brief
he's going to play
breakdown
make a
on this
little bit
play,
and
but
do
then a
all those
familiar
things. But
sight. Curry
Dwight Howard
connecting
is
on a
amazing
quarter
at setting
top
screens. He's
block,
amazing at
and then
rebounding. Even
covers
at his
two.
age right now, I don't care if
All of
Dwight
this
Howard
means
is
the
40.
Warriors can
Outside of Looney, there will
disguise
not
their
be another better
defenses.
rebounder than Dwight
Maybe
Howard
this
on our
is
team. I don't
man,
give a fuck if he's
or
40.
was it a zone? I'll tell you what it was.
The man did
Finally,
6 and
CP3 was
6, and how much he did
Two
6 and 6
defenders,
last time
two
he was in the
dedicated
NBA, and
to
he barely
two
played.
shooters, the other
He did
three
6 and
zone
6.
up.
Like what, in 10
And this is
minutes?
similar to
Yeah.
8 minutes?
overloading a side, where communication, trust, and effort are key to making the system
Yeah, I
work.
agree with you, Shadow.
And all
Also,
of
when
these
they added
defensive looks
CP3,
can
it
be
really does help
confusing for opponents,
him
and
being
they'll
there
drain
because
a ton of
it can help
valuable time off
Moses,
the shot clock. And
Kuminga,
sometimes teams aren't
maybe
sure
Pods
how to
also,
attack this.
develop
That's
their game as
terrible
well. So,
offense,
Of
and
course, of
win-win.
course,
defensive
of
stops
course,
lead to runouts
of
and easier
course,
shots
100%.
on the other
And then on
end.
top of it,
And this is
CP3,
the
as
final
great as a
dimension of the
point guard as
Warriors'
he's been,
defense.
he's never
It
had
makes
shooters.
their
He had JJ
offense
Redick, but
better.
JJ couldn't put the ball on
The
the floor
Warriors
like
are
that or
third in the
do
NBA in
different
forced
things.
turnover
He had
percentage, and they're
what's
first in
homeboy, and he ended up
offensive
he
possessions
got traded
that come
to
after a
he got
steal
traded to Memphis now.
or a
Shooter,
defensive rebound. In other words,
6'5",
a live ball stop
Kennard.
that generates transition
You know what I mean? Like he had
offense.
players like
Why
that.
is
He had
that
like
so
Landry
important?
Shamet and
Well,
certain
the
things, but he never
average
had
offensive
snipers, bro.
rating in
He's
the
coming down the
NBA
middle of the court,
after a steal
watching
or
at
defensive
the
rebound
nail, being
is
able to make a decision. Am I going to
115.
take a midi?
But
Am I going
the
to pass it
average
to Steph?
offensive rating
Am
on
I going to
all
pass
other
it to Clay?
possessions
Am I going to,
is
or are gonna bring the trailer and TJD, Wiggins, GP2's trailing me on the break. Like, come on, man. Like, the weapons this guy has, so even his game is gonna look even better. Like, he's gonna look probably closer to 2014, 2015 CP than the CP we saw last year. And last season was still fucking good.
Overall offensive rating, dropping them down
because
from
he has so
third
much
in the
weapons
league
to work
to
with, bro.
around 10th
It's
or
like giving
11th.
an army vet
Yes, this defense is so good
an artillery
that
of
it makes the
weapons
offense
versus a
that much
fucking
better.
a Mossberg pump.
And this is what
Like,
happens when great
come
coaching,
on, man. This guy's
a
got
progressive
an
scheme,
immense
and
amount of
versatile
weapons.
personnel
The coaching
converge.
staff knows what to
Wiggins
do with
does
him.
a
The only
great
thing
job
I just have to
supporting
see is
attacks,
Steve Kerr
and his size allows him
is
to
because Steve
play all
Kerr's
over the floor.
doing what
He
Clay's gonna
conceals the
do. He's
ball
fighting for a
hawk and
contract.
quick in passing
So
lanes.
Steve Kerr's gotta
Looney
like
is a rock
bring a
as a traditional
dynamic to the
center.
table to show his
Curry
value
is a
that
great
he's
communicator
invaluable.
and
You know what I
strong
mean?
on
So
the
I don't think
inside.
he can
And of
afford to
course,
just
in the
play
middle
the
of it
exact
all,
same
is
way,
the best
heavy
defender of his
motion. You know what I mean? I think
generation,
motion
Draymond
to pick
Green.
and roll in the
So,
preseason,
is this the
not
best
preseason,
defense
but
of all
during the season
time?
was maybe like
I don't know.
90-10.
2004
High
Pistons
went to
were
high
off the
ball screen. It
charts
went
with
to like maybe
Rasheed
like
Wallace.
25-75.
The Russell Celtics
I think it's
clapped
got
the
to be
league on
closer to
defense.
25-75,
And we still
and
have
I
to
don't
see
even
how
think it's
Golden
Steph
State
that needs to
fares in
be
the
doing
playoffs,
in
where
all
they
these
may be
super high ball
vulnerable to
screens. But you
size
have Dwight
or
Howard, you
great
have Kuminga,
shooting.
you have
But right
Wiggins, you have
now,
Clay.
the
Like,
Warriors are
you know what I mean?
playing
There's
like
even
one
some
of the best
comments that I
defenses we've
made
ever seen.
a long time
And their
ago, man. Like
versatility
Clay
and
and
hybrid
Stephen Curry in
scheme
a high ball screen.
may
Who the
very
fuck?
well be
Who
the
you leaving?
future of
You're gonna go
NBA.
send two guys with Steph? Well, then Clay's
There's
wide fucking
more
open.
on this
You're
defense
gonna
for
send two
Patreon
guys to Clay? Well,
insiders
then
that you can
Steph's
access
gonna
at
dice you up. So we have ample
patreon.com/LakersNation. There's also
opportunity
more
to
content
have a
over
special
there, and
season.
that's the best way to
Everybody got to
directly
bring it
support
together,
this
and I think
channel,
the
podcast,
family
and all
cohesiveness
things thinking
is
basketball.
there
Thanks
this season.
so
These guys
much for
actually
all of your
like each
kind
other again.
words and
It's not so
feedback
fragmented
lately. It means a
like
ton to
last
me.
season. Remember,
And
you
as
had
always,
Anthony
I hope
Lamb with
that
his
you are having
issues.
a
You had
great
the punch. You had Kerr arguing with Lakeup arguing with Myers. You had Draymond and the players. You had
then
Looney
really,
speaking
really
up to
tall
Draymond, and
or
Looney don't
really,
even
really
speak.
athletic.
And then they
Every
had a
other
little bit of
player in this
friction.
series is
You
at
had the
least
Clay and
6'5",
Jordan Poole dynamic.
except for this
Poole
guy,
going behind Clay's back,
Wardell Stephen
saying Clay
Curry.
should be on the bench and he
Curry's
should
rightfully
start.
considered the
Like,
greatest shooter
bro, do you know how
in
many
NBA history.
different
But
storylines?
just how
You have
good
enough
can
storylines
someone
for a
be
career, never mind
with
one season.
outlier
Like,
shooting?
I try to keep it
How much
positive.
did his
And
lack
to
of
be honest with you,
classic
if Wiggins doesn't
athleticism
get hurt, I
hold him
strongly
back
believe
on defense?
we beat the
And was his
Lakers.
radical offensive
Minus all
approach
the
so
foolishness. I don't know what happens
game-changing
against Denver
that it
because
made him the
our
most
bench was
valuable
just
offensive
not it.
player
But at the end
of
of the
all
day, like,
time?
you saw the game 5 that Andrew Wiggins had, man. You saw that. You saw that. You saw that game. And then he broke his rib. There's not much he could do. You know what I mean? With LeBron
This
acting
series
like he's the
tackled
fucking
one question:
ATF and the
who
SWAT,
was the best
and
at his best?
doing a
Start
battering
February
ram
3rd
into
to December 5th
Wiggins'
spent
ribs.
multi-year
Like,
stretches
you ever
examining the
you
legends who
rewatch
provided
that?
the
That
most
shit pisses
on-court
me off like a
impact.
motherfucker. That's not even
Yeah,
how he
bro.
plays.
Are the
That's not even like
greatest.
how he plays, and he's backing him down and using his shoulder. He's specifically trying to hurt him. Like, I get you're trying to play an advantage, but come on, bro. I have to have some decorum and tact, bro. That was a little bit out of line. That's just no different than targeting in football, bro. Like, you're targeting a man that can beat him square up, bro. He's gonna play defense. Just beat him. Why you shouldn't try to continually hurt him? So Wiggins
Is
couldn't
Wiggins
even
okay?
play.
Is he good now?
Yeah, he's 100% now.
Nice.
The other offensive greats we looked at in
Yeah,
this
Shadow,
series
what's up?
found a way to pressure the rim
What's good, my
without getting into
African
their
brother?
sweet spot.
What's up, my African brother?
Kareem had his sky hook.
What's good? What's
Jordan
good?
had
What's
mid-range
good? What's up,
pull-ups,
Urkel?
but
Junior?
Hey, what's going on,
short
Phil?
circuited the
What's
entire
good?
system.
What's good with y'all boys?
He didn't park
What's
himself
good?
in the most valuable
Yeah, I heard
spot
the
like
news about
Shaq, and
Giannis.
he didn't
Warriors
sharp toward the basket like
keeping an
LeBron.
eye on him.
Instead, he turned the three-point line
Yeah, saw the
into his own
news.
personal layup. From 2016
Hey,
to
what do you think about that?
Curry made nearly
I think
40
it's great. I really
percent
want
of
him,
his
though. I really want him on the
threes.
team.
That's the equivalent of
This
a
is the Knicks,
73%
Raptors.
two-point shot,
The only team I
efficiency that
probably
only
be worried about is the
incredible rim
Knicks,
finishers
because
can generate. But
if we
instead
look
of
at
being
big
limited
market,
to a
everybody will
restricted
come
area
together.
to
But
produce this
thank God
kind
the
of
fucking Lakers
efficiency,
aren't on
he
that.
could
So
manufacture
thank
his
God.
long-range layups from all
Sam,
over
he
the
wants to
floor.
come to the Warriors, bro.
Curry became a
Yeah, I
real-life
think so
video
too.
game. A
We're at the
custom
top of
player
that
with
list, bro.
99 shooting
Yeah,
who started
What's up?
spamming threes from 28 feet away.
I
yeah,
promise you
we
that.
are.
There is a
We are.
glitch in the matrix.
Who are you
Just
giving up for Giannis
It
though?
was only slightly better
I don't
than
know,
defenders
but
when they were a touch
I just need to be
closer.
at the top of that
At
list. That's all
6
I
feet
care
away,
about.
yeah. It's
Curry
just
made
Brooklyn,
43%
New
of
York,
his threes, the
Raptors,
equivalent of a mere
Pelicans.
65.
And then you have to see, you
Point
have to remember his
other
words.
players
He
have
said he
shot
wants to
at
win a
comparable
championship.
percentages,
Yeah,
but
so I
has
think
set
he
himself
So, like,
apart
slept.
out of that
with the
entire
sheer
list,
volume at which he
to be
can
honest, Warriors the
manufacture
only
these.
contender.
That's it.
Yeah. Do y'all think he might resign with the Bucks or?
I don't think so.
What's good, y'all?
AK, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
What up, AK?
Yo, AK, which Euro stuff are you watching today, bro?
So I'm gonna see if I can catch some of the Europa League stuff, but I might not be able to for work because I work today.
I seen that Jugo, AK.
Bro. So yeah, so I'm watching that, right? And it's like 93rd minute and stoppage, and I'm pretty annoyed, right? But I'm like tuning in and tuning out because I'm on the phone, right? And I just see like in the last like couple minutes of stoppage time, and like after the 87th minute, bro, we get off like 12 shots. And I'm like, are you fucking serious that one of these is just not going in? Two of them hit the post. We've been all over their box for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
And
she
then we
was
just
crazy.
start railing shots on these guys, bro. And then, of course, it had to be him. It had to be him.
Always, I rewatched the game. I was like,
93rd minute and 20 seconds. It had to be him.
he has a knack for running in like space, like really good.
Bro, I am telling you, I have not seen in my 21 years of watching football, I have not seen a young midfielder like this kid, to the quality of this kid, go on a big club and
And
do the
dominates.
types of things he is doing
That's a fact.
starting at a big club. Never, not once. Not to this degree. Not the way that he's covering for fullbacks on the wing. Not the way that he's
Yep.
timing his runs in behind, and the way that he's pressing up top and helping Valverde get more wide and play out right, and then let Rodrigo slide in the middle and play the 10 and switch off of Rodrigo for the 10. His natural feel for the game going into this system, that's a new system. We haven't actually played the way, we haven't used a diamond in years at Real Madrid, years, because we've always had a striker. This is the first season we really don't have an actual number 9 up top. And it doesn't matter for the kid. It doesn't matter. He's still able to do all the box-to-box stuff, lead the top of the diamond, play the 10 role, time his runs in behind, and still have over 90% pass accuracy, make 4 to 5 tackles a game. I've never seen anything like it at his age. Not one time in my life. It's
Yeah, he's different.
remarkable.
For sure.
It is legitimately generational stuff. It's nuts. The trajectory that this kid is on, like his potential is unreal. Like greatest English midfielder of all time level potential. Unbelievable stuff.
Let me ask you this. Based on what you're seeing right now, like I'll go back 30 years. Tell me of a better English midfielder that you've seen.
So Urkel, the only start that I've seen to a career on a big club for a young English midfielder, just in terms of production and promise and level of activity and success, was Beckham in like 1999, and I was only like 3 years old. So these are things that I've studied.
Dennis is saying Paul Scholes, but I think he's better than Paul Scholes, bro.
Yeah, but at his age, what he's doing,
he's a reflection of Zidane, honestly.
Like Scholes, but Scholes later in his career, he wasn't to this
level.
He wasn't
off
doing
the jump,
all
Dennis.
of these things to this level to start his career. But yeah, the only thing I can think of is really early Beckham at United. But other than that, and then that's still in terms of what he's doing on the pitch. I haven't seen a midfielder do what this kid is doing in his first 5 or 6 games.
The only other player to come to Real Madrid and score, just do what he's doing, is Ronaldo. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I mean, the kid has the ability to basically, it's cool because he has the ability to progress and evolve in his career to different, like, positionally dominate the field in different areas of his career. So, for example, there's guys like that have been, elite wingers and midfielders and have been able to have success, up top, like Ronaldo being the biggest success story, a wide midfielder who ended up being set the record for the most goals ever in the history of the sport. That's like the craziest story. No, nothing like that. But
let me ask you this question, because somebody asked about Ozil in the chat right now.
About who?
Ozil.
So Ozil and Real Madrid.
Ozil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he I laugh at that because I thought he was pretty good, But
Ozil?
I think he was in a transition phase. You know what I'm saying?
At one point in his career, like his Arsenal years or his Madrid
Or
years?
Real Madrid?
So right in the Arsenal years, I felt like, so when they had signed him, I was like, oh, this is a great signing. But
Yeah.
during that time, bro, I feel like football was changing right then and there.
From what though? From like
So
regular
no,
tactics?
Urkel brings up a good point
I'm asking
because
from what standpoint?
because the role that was around when the role of the 10 kind of started diminishing,
Okay.
and the 4-3-3 really started taking over
Yep.
more,
The tiki taka 4-3-3.
and
Yeah.
really that's
3-5-3.
kind of when it first started to diminish. That was the era when it first started to diminish. So, in order to really have a player like that that you can use in that way, like the way, for example, Liverpool used to use Coutinho, you have to be able to have an elite level CDM. And if you don't, you can't play that style of football anymore. You simply can't. You'll get cooked in the midfield, right?
Yo,
He's elite at controlling the midfield and the pace and stuff like that.
yo,
Yeah.
But
Urkel.
Ozil, like even at Madrid, was doing some really, really, really good
Crazy
stuff.
stuff. Hell yeah.
Really,
Yo,
really good stuff. It was I don't want to say it was overrated, but it was just the quality and the way that he was distributing the ball, and his vision was just next level, like elite, like all time great. But he didn't have the volume of assists to really necessarily back it up in terms of the way that it was hyped up. He did really, really well, but you look at some other guys that have been at the club, it's not at that level. But he was, yeah, I did think that, it, like you said, a transition phase type thing. When he went to Arsenal, I think he still did pretty well, but it was kind of an effect of football also changing style away from players like his role. It's kind of the same reason. Well, it's not the exact same reason because he didn't. A guy like who I'm about to mention, there was other reasons involved why he wasn't able to have success. But a guy like Isco, right? So Isco also suffered kind of the same fate from stylistically that version of football changing, and then not being able to adapt, and then not also his thing was also just not training.
I also think with Isco too as a manager.
On his body, this and that as well.
So let me kind of relate this to basketball in a sense, because again.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of dude where I watch trends and I look at like all of this stuff or whatever, right? So around say 14, all right. So the summer of 2014, I think Dwight Howard had gone to, or what year did Dwight Howard go to the Rockets? It was 14, right?
I think it was 14-15 season, right?
Yeah, so he went there in 14. So he goes there in 14, and James Harden is there and whatnot. And I remember when he went there, I was always interested to see how Dwight Howard was going to play with James Harden, right? Because I had this theory back then. I was like, it's not every guard that can play a style where a big is on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to play around them. So you have to be able to feed the block. You have to be able to move ball or move off ball so they can hit you, right? So James Harden is a pick and roll player, right? So he's 4 out, a pick and roll type of dude. That is why he never really worked with James Harden, because James Harden is really not like an off ball player where, Dwight's going to throw him the ball on the block and then you're going to play around him. You know what I'm saying? So Dwight Howard was caught in like towards the end of his career. I feel like he slipped. Yeah, he did slip, all of that stuff. But I felt like it's almost like the rug got ripped out from underneath him, basically, because the Warriors came into play, and the way the Warriors use their bigs, because of Draymond and all of that, they throw the ball on the block, and then people would cut off of them. The big would find them, and then, and they would make shots. You know what I'm saying? Steve Kerr's theory all of these years is if that you had a big man that could post up and pass the ball, it would add a crazy dynamic to their offense, right?
Been looking for that player for so long, Urkel.
Yes, so they've been searching for that guy for the longest. You know what I'm saying?
The closest we ever got was Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, so Draymond can't threaten you on the block. You know what I'm saying? So a player like Dwight Howard got marginalized like crazy because, James Harden is a pick and roll player. The whole league went heavy pick and roll. And to be honest with you, the Warriors are a multi-dimensional team. They're not just pick and roll. They're throwing the ball to the big on the block. He's finding a cutter. They're running split action. They're doing all of this stuff. And these other teams, they're 4 out, and they're bringing up a big in a ball screen, and they're targeting that big. Dwight Howard had a lot of his effectiveness taken away because James Harden was so good in the pick and roll. So they're like, why don't we just go to ball screen all the time?
Let me ask you this. So in terms of, because you know more basketball than I am, simply due to age and whatnot, the rim running big, right? Would you say like it made a return, or was it always there? Like, because when I think of like eras of rim running bigs, there's like a gap almost. Like it was like the earliest I can remember, the latest I can remember it coming back is like the Sean Kemp days, right? And then after that, like there just wasn't dudes that was that athletic, or like how did the timeline go for that?
Yes. I mean, we're out outside.
He'll be back in a second.
You know what I remind me of, AK?
Yeah.
Isco with the Dwight thing. Like with Real Madrid, he didn't wanna like train and stuff, but it still was a coaching error. And now you see him at what's called it Albion. What team is he on now?
He's on
the
Betis
Vigo
now. Beat Betis, yeah.
And
so
he's
my
playing
thing,
out of
like
his mind.
my thing with the Dwight thing, bro, is like Dwight could have been effective if he wasn't like, say for instance that you put Dwight Howard on the Warriors. I don't think Dwight is necessarily like a low post maestro, right?
Yeah.
But if you give him the ball on the block and you ask him to make a pass or whatever, back then he was really good at doing that, right? So we talk about all those things or whatever, right? Like people said, oh, low post basketball was ineffective. It's ineffective because the people who are running the shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's like when you get caught in between eras, bro, like for certain players, it's going to cook them. Next thing you know, you have Joel Embiid, you have Jokic, and these dudes are operating from the block primarily. Now, what had to happen to those guys? Those guys had to be way more skilled than you just throwing the ball on the block. Like now these guys are like beating you off of the dribble. They're shooting threes, right? Like in Jokic's case, he's like a fucking 3-level scorer and he's passing from all angle and all of that stuff, right? So the bigs had to do a makeover essentially, right? Like they definitely had to do a makeover, if that makes sense.
A second ago, Urkel, about I asked you if you could illustrate for me because your age and whatnot, you know the basketball timelines and whatnot.
Yeah.
The rim running big, right? It went away for a second, like in the early 2000s, and then made a return. Like the latest I can remember, the rim running bigs like really being prominent was like when Sean Kemp was around. Although he was a power forward, he wasn't like a true center in my opinion.
I don't know that it was like really rim runners back then. I think the rim runners started to surface probably around, I would say 09.
09.
Like around 08, 09. You did have like some element of it, but it like
would you say like throwing an alley oop to like your center or power forward, like is that kind of new? You know, I don't not really.
But I mean, like when people started to run pick and rolls more, like how you would want your big men to be, bro. Like even back then, you would want like a Chris Webber type. You know what I'm saying? Chris Webber was like the perfect big. The problem is that Chris Webber didn't have that much success. But if you're talking about total basketball, like doing multiple things, whatever, Chris Webber was that dude. The problem with Chris Webber is that he ran into Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? But what that man was doing with Doug Christie and dude from Arizona, Mike Bibby, right? What he was doing with him back then, with like the dribble handoff stuff, and and the passing and the cutting or whatever, that is kind of where we're at right now. You know what I'm saying? So when we think about how many titles Steph has won without a dude like that, it's unbelievable, bro. Like Draymond Green is doing something else, right? It's completely unconventional what the Warriors have done, bro. They have two dudes in the front court who are not offensive threats. They're not offensive threats.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
When's the last time that you could like have your? Usually, if you had like, because he's a power forward, not a defender. Usually, your power forward would be your best defender, like traditionally, which Draymond is. But you could never. And you tell me if this is true. Like your power forward averaging 7 points would just be a huge problem. Like it was like 10, 11, and 15 was like super elite. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean,
yeah. So like that's what makes it unconventional is like to have it. Same thing with Looney. You know what I mean? Like to have two players who don't necessarily contribute from a point standpoint. You know what I mean? It's rare. Like
I cannot think of a time when we've seen anything like that, bro. Like when teams build their core or whatever, it doesn't look like Steph Draymond. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Steph Draymond is really the heart of it. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Clay, all of that.
Yo, Urkel, did this nigga on-call Barber won yesterday, the giveaway?
Yeah, he did win yesterday, yeah.
He won one. They said again 175.
I don't know how much. No, he didn't win that much. He's crazy. No.
Nah, you was saying that in the chat. He won
No, Dr. NBA gave him 150 last night.
Dr. NBA gave him 150 last night?
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
I didn't know Dr. NBA gave him that much.
That's crazy. He posted it on Twitter.
The giveaway?
On-call Barber came up last night, bro.
Yeah, he posted $25 on a 150 one on Twitter.
Oh shit! He came up last night, bro. Congrats, man.
That's crazy.
The big bro is crazy.
Wait, so he finally won?
Yeah, he finally won last night.
Oh, so you won both?
Did he win or did he beg for it?
He begged for it?
That's what they're saying.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, somebody else won and they passed it on to him.
Oh, Snake said he begged for it.
I didn't say he begged.
Trini.
What's good,
Real
bro?
quick on I know you asked me a question on the Isco thing.
Yeah.
The Isco thing was not necessarily as much coaching, but it was an effect of us also being part of stylistically moving away from having a number 10, but really more so than anything else, injuries and training and not being able to keep up with the locker room and the dressing room and the type of guys that we're bringing in. And I cannot give Isco the excuse of, well, he didn't have a number 6 to be able to play behind, to be able to do the types of things that even bringing in a guy like Ceballos was considered a wash, right? He really was. He was considered a wash. We were probably going to sell him or reloan him back out, and he proved himself last season, right? He did. And the biggest reason why a guy like him was able to get in there and actually be able to have success was he was actually tracking back. He was tracking at back. He was defending within the margins, and he was staying in front of his 6. And Isco had the benefit of playing with Casemiro his entire time at Real Madrid, who at his best was the best CDM in the world along with N'Golo Kante, right? And now we have a guy like Tchouaméni who's already a top 5 CDM in the world, who's been in there as well. So it's not like having, which is, by the way, a big reason. Tchouaméni, don't get it twisted. Tchouaméni is a key reason right now why Jude is able to have the type of success that he has. And his ability to play off of a guy like that and be able to time his runs and mark wide when he needs to mark wide when fullbacks are overlapping is
Facts.
essential in our system. Absolutely
A fact.
crucial. Like, it's impossible without that. So
Yeah.
if we didn't have a guy like a Chouameni right now, I think that you could go as far to say, as at the very minimum, he wouldn't have the goal scoring impact that he's able to have right now, right? The goal scoring wise, because he's scoring in
But
damn near every fucking
my
game.
thing with Isco is you
But
had a
Isco,
team. He had a team. So that's the thing about it. He had a team around him. So it's not
Isco
like
not only had a team around him, but here's the thing that happens at Real Madrid, and it happens often, right? Real Madrid always has a few dudes that run the dressing room. Dudes, right? Whether it be a Sergio Ramos, Marcelo,
Ramos,
both of them, Ronaldo,
Ronaldo,
back in the days, Figo and Zidane.
Benzema.
There are guys that set the tone and set the level of training that is required to be able to be a top player at that club. And when you even take 2 steps off of that, bro, what happens at Real Madrid is you get alienated like a bitch. You get alienated like a bitch, and they put it out there in the forefront. The manager will put it out there in the forefront. The players will. You will be you're freaking you'll be by yourself, putting your shin pads on. So that's the type of shit that happens at Real Madrid, and some people don't like that. But realistically, that's why they have 14 Champions League trophies.
And now you can see
There's a level that is required at that club that is different, that asks a different level than most clubs in Europe.
So let me switch it like
if
this.
you're
right?
not able to maintain that and keep up with that, then you're falling off. And that was an effect of play style, and that alone was why he wasn't able to be able to do this, to maintain the types of things that he was doing before.
So let me say this.
But I'm happy for him because he did suffer some injuries. And he's at Betis now, and he's thriving, and because he's a good dude, I like him. I'm happy for him. But again, at Real Madrid specifically, bro, there are certain things that you need to be doing that, again, even a guy like Ceballos was doing last season, and he just simply wasn't doing those things anymore.
So think about this, right? With that, I agree 100% what you're saying. If you put it in the context of Dwight, people didn't use him properly. He wasn't a good team coaching. He comes to Golden State. We know the Steph Pixie does is.
Yeah.
Crazy. I see a whole turnaround for Dwight because just like how Isco come here, didn't want to practice, the bad energy in the locker room, go somewhere else. Now he's striving. I think the same thing is gonna happen because like you said with the number 10, was a lost art form until you get pieces around you and you start playing like basically what Jude going 22 down the line.
Yeah. No, I can see that. Obviously in a lower.
How do people in England feel about Jude, bro?
Oh,
bro,
they love him.
Urkel,
They
people in
love him.
England, bro. People in England are absolutely livid, bro.
I got a couple of homeboys over there. They say Jude when he played for England, it's all good.
Fucking upset, bro,
They
because
mad
they
at-
know that this kid is soon enough, like in the very near future, going to be the captain of their
Of
national
course,
team.
we gonna be the number 10.
He's going to be the best player from their country, and he
not playing
faded the
in
top
PPL.
clubs in England to go to Spain.
Exactly.
And
That's why
not
they
only
pissed.
did he do that, he stepped in there and having one of the most successful starts to a career for a young player ever in the history of that
6
club.
goals, 6 games, 4 man of the match. That's unheard of.
And don't bring up Paul Scholes for the first season.
Yeah,
Paul
like,
Scholes
come
in his first year played 16 games and started 6. This is not the same type of start. Okay,
Jude started 6 games.
He
and
has
scored
the
6
same
goals.
number of goals that Paul Scholes started games at Manchester
His
United.
first game. It's crazy.
Let's keep the history straight. So that's not the same thing. But
Two
again,
ways.
that's why I
Jude
said
is-
the
Jude
only
is phenomenal,
similar
bro.
start I've seen is a guy like Beckham at United. But the shit that this kid is doing at Madrid is next
He's
level.
legendary.
The kid's 20, bro. He's 20 years old.
He reminds me of Zidane. Like, he plays like the Zidane. Like, the strides, the long feet, the build, how he plays, like, how he even dribbles. I'm like, he gives me the exact replica.
Trini, the kid is, I know he's tall, but being
Yeah.
tall does not, by any stretch of the means, mean that you're an aerial threat.
Yeah.
Not at all, especially if you're a midfielder, even if you're a number 9, but especially if you're a midfielder. Bro, the kid's an aerial threat, too.
Exactly.
The kid gets in the box
all the
corners,
time.
He makes runs in, and he's
And
getting
then
over center backs. And
His
you feel like
timing
he's
and
banging every
runs
time.
is like, I don't know how he does it, bro. He will wait for everybody to run in. He time is running. Boom. He's in.
I'll
he's
tell
in
you exactly how he does it. How he does it is this. So, one, his understanding and his timing playing in a diamond, which he's actually never really played in before, maybe in his youth days, is next level. Because what he's able to do, his understanding of, especially when we shift and Chouameni comes off and Cruz is playing the holding midfielder. That's actually really important because that's a huge distinction. Because actually, a lot of times, if you notice, what his goals are actually coming from when that shift is made and Cruz is the holding midfielder. What happens when that happens and Chouameni either slides off or he's either coming in substituted off or he's playing in between the center backs and the midfielders, where basically, let's say we're in like a 1-0 position and then it ends up being a 2-0 win. What happens when Cruz slides into the 6 is Cruz ends up shifting left, right? He shifts left, and then a guy like Fran, his overlapping runs get dropped. So he's doing fewer overlapping runs. Cruz shifts left, and then what happens is whoever's out wide left, who right now Vinicius is injured, it's basically a dead spot, right? It's basically a dead spot on the field. There's really no left striker or left winger.
Yeah, there's no
So
left wing,
what
left
Jude is
striker.
doing is he knows that Cruz is going to get the ball. He's going to come short to Fran. And when he receives that ball or when a tackle is
It's gonna
made,
be space.
there is open space on the left side. So Rodrigo ends up being in kind of like free roam. And he gets that ball in the middle. Joselu is probably a guy like that's like a target man. And what Jude is doing is when Jude is pressing high left, he's making runs in behind from high left, and he's just scoring tap-ins. Almost like 4 of
Exactly.
those goals have come from that position. So, but being able to feel that, and then be able to actually execute that on the pitch as a box-to-box midfielder is a different level. And he's doing that left and right. And then another thing he's doing is the opposite of that. When those left side runs are covered, right? And then Rodrigo is starting out left because of an injury problem, right, with Vinicius, and Chouameni is still the holding midfielder. Cruz then becomes the left center mid. And what Cruz is able to do that most midfielders aren't able to do, he's able to take those balls short from that side or make those tackles and bang it 90 yards down the pitch to the right flank across the field, right? Not that many midfielders that can do that to that accuracy that he's been able to do it historically ever. So what happens then is Jude says, okay, now I don't need to press as high left. We have a guy sliding left. Rodrigo is farther out left. He's going to press. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work in between Joselu and a guy like Valverde. And I'm going to let Valverde do the overlapping stuff. And then Carvajal is getting a little bit more central. Then he's starting to press left, and he's making runs in behind the opposite side of the pitch. But that understanding and being able to do that, bro, the ease and the natural ability that he has to be able to make these adjustments is
Exactly.
unbelievable at his age. It's crazy, bro.
Like that type of IQ that you got, like it's crazy. He just has it.
It's ridiculous.
Has
And then the final part of it is he has the quality in the final third to
finishing
be able
touch.
to
Yep.
finish his
I think he's
conversion rate
better
on
than
his
Rodrigo.
shots is unbelievable.
I think he's better
He's
than
just putting the ball in
Rodrigo
the back of the net.
at finishing, bro. Because Rodrigo, I'd be like, bro, come on, how do you miss some of these?
Yeah, Rodrigo's finishing has been
I'd be
suspect
like, bro, you've
this
been at
season,
Real
for sure.
Madrid for how long playing up top, and you can't
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Trini. A guy like Rodrigo has basically at least at Real Madrid, his entire career, he's played off of one of the all-time great number 9s.
Yeah,
So
Benzema.
his thing has always been, well, I'm just going to sit in front of Carvajal
and just wait
and distribute and get runs in behind and be able to basically play off of Benz shorter into the pitch because he was such an elite player in terms of hold-up play. One of the best ever that we've ever seen, Benz, right? So that makes it so much easier for a guy who just basically, from his standpoint and tactically on the pitch, he's gone, well, only thing I really got to do is I don't really have to worry about, sliding in behind Benz and Vinny. Only thing I got to do is I got to play the right side of the pitch and be able to cross the ball, play off of Benz, get in behind the fullbacks and square the ball. And that's it. And then here and there be able to work off of like Valverde. That's it. That's all he's had to do. But now what you're at, not only are you asking him to play up top, basically, in like a false 2-striker role, which, it is and it isn't because of the way we have the diamond. But what you're asking him to do is you're asking him to do that, but you're also asking him to free roam, right? You're asking him to go from left to right, and then he has to play make centrally as well, which he has shown to be able to do in flashes in Brazil. But really, it's really more difficult for a guy like that because Joselu, as impressive as he has shown to be, believe it or not, so far this season, is not a guy who's going to be giving you too much hold-up play that you can play off, right? So he has not only more emphasis and pressure to be able to finish in the final third, he's free roaming, and that makes it 4 times harder.
Do we have any Champions League game next week?
No, so it's domestic, and then we got Champions League on this October 2nd. Fires back up.
Okay. All right. Let me I got some work stuff, unfortunately. So let me jump off here and then
Before you go, Urkel, I just wanted to let you know the real reason why I even came in here was to let you know that Iggy went on
oh my God,
the podcast with JJ Redick and was
Urkel,
talking
you saw
about,
that clip?
You tired?
That's Daniel's talking about?
he was talking
Talking
about
about pool?
talking about that earlier. Yeah.
okay.
We can talk about that later. But Manu, who's Warriors Muse, I think he's going to do a playback at, I think it's 3:30 Pacific. So I'm going to do a Spaces right after his. So he's probably going to do like an hour or so, and I'm going to do a Spaces right after his thing. So tap into Manu's thing, bro. Manu is probably the most brilliant person on the TL in terms of stats and all of that, right? So let's tap in with Manu later and give Manu subscribe to Manu's channel if you're already not subscribed. So
Do me a favor. Could you like tweet out the link to that?
oh, Manu, drop your link in the chat, bro.
Yeah. Drop your link.
Yeah, so it's on Strength in Numbers. So Manu is like a guy on the TL. You know what I'm saying? So just sub up with Manu, bro. So this is friends and family, and I'm in here, bro. So we also
Facts. Yes, sir.
So let's and we have some more announcement coming up. We're going to try to really branch out and try and do some different things. You know what I'm saying? So AK came up here earlier, and AK was like talking about football and all of that. And I know a lot of our fans are international, like a lot of international people tapping with us. So we watch basketball and football. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have some more announcement. Manu joined up with us, bro. So this is really, really an alliance that we're doing right now. So tap in with Manu later. Manu gets really granular with the stats, right? So sub up with Manu, and then we'll talk about the Spaces later. I'll try to hop in with you, Manu. I have to check my calendar. So if my calendar frees up, I'll hop in there. But give Manu's channel a sub, and we'll catch up with y'all later.
Yes, sir.
But I appreciate everybody for tapping in, and we'll do a Space later, and then we'll jump into Dre. So
everybody be safe.
Catch y'all later.
Have a good day.
Take care.
All right.